Thank you so much for staying with us at TVC Breakfast this beautiful Tuesday morning. Just looking at the papers, there's some stories here that really want to make you smile. It's a good thing.
And others not just smile but laugh.
Yes.
Because Nigerians
and
be happy. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Because if you go to Imo State now, I guess the people are in for happy times.
Oh yes,
especially
indeed.
for the young people and couples.
And couples.
You will get to know what we're talking about as we get on this show.
Of course,
we can start the papers
we'll
now.
begin with the punch, but not before I introduce to you a regular face on the show. Charles Ideho is a public affairs commentator, and he's already happy.
He's already happy.
Thank you so much
Morning,
for joining us.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Okay,
Yes.
so the Punch reports PDP panel bans presidential ticket campaign at convention. Atiku writes Makarufi visits party headquarters today. Okay, so the ball is rolling for the PDP. The national convention is right around the corner.
It's meant to be this Saturday.
You remember 1993 Hope campaign of Abiola?
Yes.
Nigeria on the march again, you know, thinking for Mr. President. So PDP is on the march again. And they want to start by, first of all, electing the person the principal officer who are going to be superintendent over the affairs of the party. I mean, whatever happens on the 9th, which is this Saturday,
Yes.
will be a prelude to what PDP in the future will look like. If they get it right on Saturday, where there might be a semblance of what I might call progress in that party. But if they don't get it right on Saturday, then PDP has not learned any lesson.
All right.
That's how I
Are
see
they looking like they will get it right? All right. So find out now why we have been on about happiness and laughter and all of that. Okorocha swears in sister as happiness commissioner. And along with that, she will also be in charge of couples fulfillment.
So if you're married and you don't have fulfillment, just consult the commissioner. You'll be happy.
But the question is, how do we determine who is happy? How do we determine fulfillment in marriage?
You will ask the couple themselves.
No, even the commissioner, does she know that? How fulfilled is she in her marriage? I mean, I've seen a picture of that. I've seen a picture of that lady. I'm not sure that lady must have spent about 30 years in marriage. For you to be able to teach people what to do in marriage, you must have experience. Enduring experience.
Does it have to be personal experience? It can be
no personal experience.
learned,
maybe
studied in university or something.
Studied in university.
It's possible.
That would just be textbook knowledge, which is different from personal. You see, you must go through a road to be able to tell anybody what is on that road, not what you read about the road. If you pass through a road, you'll be able to tell based on first-hand information about what the road is all about. So you can't. That's sometimes people who are not any living from counseling, marriage counseling. I look at some of them most of them are just five years old in marriage. The question: what do you have to teach somebody who has been there for 17 years? The road the person has passed through. All you're going to be given are just textbook as what they have heard. So it's not the same thing as when you have experience. So what I'm saying is that what is the experience of this Okorocha's sister to be able to teach happiness? How happy is she? Then how fulfilled is she in her marriage?
Well, time will tell. We'll find out maybe at the end of 2 years or how many more years. Does she have?
We'll get to see.
We'll find out.
I think it's just
how well
just for the girls.
Demo,
Not for the boys, just for the girls.
Just for the girls. All right. Well, a lot of people are saying, well, this has really gone too far.
I think it's
in
too
Imo
far.
State when it comes to spreading taxpayers' money on appointees. Just create an office.
But creation of
Look,
business
it's
is a
going to
problem.
make a lot of difference.
But the
Look,
nepotism.
what's wrong with happiness, really?
Okay.
But the main problem is that when you create offices, but when it becomes nepotistic in nature, he's in charge of the market collections in Imo. His son-in-law is in charge of one thing. His one other daughter is in charge of something. I mean, Imo State is Imo State.
But
when
right
it comes
people for
to
the job, why
when it
not?
comes to happiness,
Yes.
the commissioner for finance, commissioner for works, commissioner, when all of them are doing their work,
And people
the
will be
average
happy.
Imo person will be
Mike,
happy.
Mike, thank you. Because happiness is by default.
Exactly.
It's by default. When you do certain things, just now you just read out a headline. I started laughing. This thing was not mechanical.
Exactly. So it's not like there's happiness
So
somewhere.
you're happy
and
already.
we're
That
we're
means-
handing it over
that
to
means
you.
So
it's
what we are
working.
saying is that if you're not happy in Lagos, you find your way.
Find your way to Imo
Imo
State,
to
you
Imo
find
State.
happiness. And if you're a couple, you can find
You can't
fulfillment
find
in Imo
fulfillment.
State.
You go to
And something else to really make you happy. Boy crippled by Boko Haram back in Nigeria walking.
Yeah, that's the real happiness.
this-
because
this-
you know they even said the boy. I think it was 2014
Yes,
when
2014.
motorbikes ran over him in Chibok. And then again, another miracle there is that he was given about 2 months for him to be able to step to take the first step. But miraculously in 7 days, the boy started working.
Yeah, and a charity organization
Yeah,
raised some
they did that. Not even government.
$48,000.
Not even government.
To take
Yes.
him to...
We paid about I think about $48,000
Yes.
they spent to be able to
the surgery.
procure his
We
treatment.
go to the Nation newspaper. We have the same boy here, Ali
Armando, yeah.
And he's back, and I can see the smiles on his face.
Yeah.
And then he said he wants to be a policeman.
He wants to be a policeman.
Okay,
That's-
well,
well,
anyway,
that's wonderful.
maybe
That's-
he's going to clean up the system.
He will.
I think it will go a long way if the parents and the government can really help him fulfill this. It will go a long way. He's
Yes.
happy without going to Imo State.
That's
good. All right, South governors insist on secondals for PDP chairman and no special concession for Atiku, says Makarfi. Now, there's a line here credited to the South governors, if there's anything to go by, that could be a little troubling. They said the South People's Democratic Party leaders yesterday vowed to fight to the death for the party's chairman. It is seeming like a do or die affair again.
The language, you know, I always talk about language, maybe because I study communication. Language is very, very important. Language can make, it can mar whatever you want to do. When you find people are supposed to be building a structure, speaking daggers and using same, there's a problem. You are saying they will fight to the death. What does that mean? You are going to cause an implosion within the system. If you say, I mean, this
Maybe it's just a manner of speaking.
but it could have a resultant effect. There are certain times you speak, people will lean heavily on what you have said. So I think language should be tempered.
Okay.
Honestly.
What the last headline I'll take here: fuel queues resurface in.
I see you're having trouble even just
Yeah,
saying that. I mean,
exactly,
it's almost,
exactly. Because
it's
the
almost
point there is,
troubling.
But
I
why
thought we've
again?
kept this behind us a long time.
Why
but we're
again?
here
Why again? Why
with,
again? Why? But you see, the thing is that's why it said the Holy Book says that when evil men are in power, not necessarily political power, the people suffer. Now we have personally, I mean, some of us were in the media business. We have really said for now the issue of fuel scarcity has been a foregone conclusion.
Yes.
So we know we are suffering, but that's not part of what is bringing suffering to us. I mean, look at last year. We all had a seamless Christmas period with everybody's traveling and fuel scarcity. But the question is that, are they saying that they don't have the interest of the people, interest of the nation at heart to be able to resolve this issue
Well,
rather
what
than
they're
cause
saying
this,
is
this
145
trouble?
naira per litre is no longer realistic.
What is
And they're
realistic?
Looking at
But is this
160 or
the
something?
But
same
it
thing?
subsisted for a while. I didn't know that way that this thing can be resolved
Especially
without.
with the Apapa gridlock. You know, they're not able to
but
load
these are
and all of that. So
temporary
many
things.
things.
But they're temporary,
you
that's
know.
what I'm saying. But the
These
question
are
is
temporary
why I always quarrel with labor and some of these associations and unions. In most cases, you only find them almost always being militant in their actions. Have they ever sat down to come up maybe a workshop, a symposium, to begin to tell government, advise government what to do?
How to
None
do
of
it.
them has even suggested a way out of their Papa gridlock. All they are saying is that they want to hold government by the jugular. How do you run a nation like that?
It's almost looking like blackmail every year.
Exactly.
Do you have something else?
Yeah,
there?
that's all for the nation.
Okay, now the Daily Sun is reporting. Ambassador speaks on slave trade, says Libya, Nigerians sell Nigerian. Well, okay. Look, this is the headline.
It's correct.
Libya, Nigerians sell Nigerians.
Yes.
250 repatriated weekly, says federal.
Well, it's here. I mean, you have these traffickers who are Nigerians. I understand you pay as high as 500,000 naira for that promise to be fulfilled for you, this trans-Mediterranean route. So, but who collects the 500,000 naira? Is first of all, you have syndicates here in Nigeria who are Nigerians who are perpetrating this evil, and because they work in cahoots with other bad guys side up there. So when they say Nigerians are selling Nigerians, they are very correct.
Well, like they say, it takes the enemy within.
The enemy is the enemy within.
For
Exactly.
the one
Exactly.
without to
So,
succeed.
and it's quite sad.
I almost fled in 2016. Now, who is saying that? Buhari himself. President opens up, says nobody can satisfy Nigerians on anti-corruption war.
Look,
or
absolutely.
on any other thing for that matter.
The issue of the temptation to run, you can now see that in most cases when they're making promises of what they want to do in government, they have almost next to, I mean, when talking into issue of knowledge, their knowledge is very, very vague about what goes on in government. But they see it just like a game of Ayu. When you are watching, you see the moves better than the person who is playing. So when you are there, I could do it. Fashola told us in 6 months. I mean, any government cannot do that. But they are there now. When he got there, he saw the enormity of the challenges. He almost fled. So that's to tell you, all this thing was promising that time. How serious were they as a party at that time? So what we are going to be telling people is that before you get in there, make sure you have adequate information about how things are run over. So that when you're making promises, those promises will be tangible promises.
And it's the same question really that has, trailed the issue of budgeting. Where people ask, how do you come up with these figures when you come up with the yearly budget? That doesn't seem to reflect the reality.
No, but in most cases, we can explain that away. The zero-based budget, we're not following it. What is zero-based budgeting as against envelope-based? Zero-based, this crop, for instance, we know we buy crop, but we don't have any budget for it. So when it comes to when a requisition is made for crops, we now go tender. This is how much. Then so what they do is that, or like before, when you say every year we know how much the cost, whether the crops are existing or not. We must buy crops. So that's why.
And that is what happens usually.
But they have returned to the envelope. Did you hear they're going to buy cutlery? They're going to spend how many million for?
Exactly.
The question is that the cutleries that were bought last year, what could have happened to the cutleries?
Are they consumables?
Do you swallow cutleries? So that's what I'm saying, that in most cases, they don't know what happens there. You throw stones, you cast stones at people over there. When you get there, you find the enormity of the problem. It's something that is
all right.
Almost
even in addition to that, the issue of transparency, openness, connect with Nigerians. Because the point there is, we had a guest here who said, you wouldn't take so much to impress Nigerians. Just be open enough, connect with them.
Well, Mr. President is saying there's nothing you do to impress Nigerians.
There is something you can do. Because the point there is, when Nigerians don't know what you're doing, they don't understand your direction and all of that, what do you expect them to do?
But it's going to be very difficult for government, for the president. I mean, it's sad to say. The reasoning is very simple. You have an existing bureaucratic civil service. They don't go on transfer except they are retired. These people are there in the system. They work with any government, whether it's APC government, whether it's AFGA government. So they perfected the system. Do you know before now, I'm sure it still happens, that people can tell you, Mike, you know what's going to happen? Give me 45 million naira. When we are doing budgeting, I don't want to pay the money. Because they already, that's why the issue of padding came into being. So they make money every year in the process of budgeting.
So in other words, what you're saying is, for any government to even come close to succeeding, you need to reform the civil service.
Because if
you don't get it right
there,
the government is dead on arrival.
Exactly.
We had a guest yesterday on the MENA issue, and the revelation he was bringing forth,
mind-boggling revelations.
Mind-boggling, I must say.
So sometimes the information some of us have, we can't
divulge it.
Exactly. So we just say let it be.
Okay. The last paper now is the Vanguard newspaper, and the first headline here says, "We won't roll with Atiku in the mud." That's the presidency saying that. It's the last act of frustration. Odigel Yegun is saying that. That's the chairman of APC. He can't beat Buhari in his ward. Onoche is saying that, especially he's an aide to the president. He's an opportunist. Mohammed is saying that. But Timmy Frank is saying more defections from the APC coming soon.
Look, I think the Oyegu and his order, they are trivializing the issue. It's a very... Look, Atiku, whether I like it or not, I may not like him as a person personally because of this issue of inconsistency. But the man is a factor in the political equation of Nigeria. You can't wish him away. Right from 1992, when he was with Yaradua, the late Shehu Yaradua, They built the PDM, People Democratic Movement.
Exactly.
And when Yaradua died, he inherited that platform. And he has successfully been able to build that to a very formidable force.
That gave birth to PDP in 1999.
Whether it's Abga, he has his men. Whether it's APC, he has his men. Everywhere you go to, there's nowhere Atiku doesn't have his men. So anybody saying that is this and Atiku can settle anything.
Yes, indeed.
Honestly.
But hasn't he weakened his own strength and his own clout with what you just said? You know, moving from inconsistency.
Inconsistency. That's right. Yes, but he has friends everywhere.
He has friends everywhere, but when push comes to shove, when it matters the most, it doesn't seem
I think the thing is that the main challenge I have with him is that, look, I think as another statesman, he should rather, as he says about 75, he should rather be finding a way to build an enduring institution rather than jump ship, because his goal, as we speak, whether you like it or not, is to become the president and commander-in-chief of the federal government. Whether it's Abgad is going to give, whether it's Kowa, any party that will give you.
He gives a semblance of
that
desperation.
is not how to build an institution, because what he's doing is that he's tying the whole nation around individual. So Atiku has to be it has to be Atiku or nobody. I would rather say at his age and experience, he should rather be mentoring the
especially
young
now
ones.
that he's talking about youth as the focus of.
But I think he's just using youth as a bargaining chip. He may not mean it. He may not mean it. He just wants to. What he's going to do is that he just wants to dangle some very juicy carrots at them, win them over, then they'll queue behind it's a septuagenarian now, right?
Yeah, but the point there is Nigerians are wiser now. It's not about Atiku or Buhari or anybody.
And Nigerians wiser?
Nigerians.
No, but the voting pattern still remains.
No, but you need to understand the 2015 election.
Yes.
However way it goes, Nigerians were wiser somehow. You can't wish that away.
No, I think
by booting out a sitting government.
Well, sitting government, but of course, because all of us we became very frustrated. It was very glaring that the PDP government was taking us to Golgotha. So everybody just wanted, and all they needed was just as you said earlier, you said it's not difficult to please Nigerians. So what they needed was, we're going to do things differently. But I'm telling you now that if we look at even the pattern of voting in some states, this staggered election, nothing has changed. That's why I said, have we learned a lesson?
Well, Nigerians,
I doubt it.
The system or the umpires and all of those on the political party may not change, but Nigerians, if you talk to them and you really listen to what they're saying, a lot of Nigerians have learned their lesson.
But people have learned their lesson because people have learned their lesson.
Yeah.
Do they vote, most of them?
That's the point.
That's the
In
point.
the case of Anambra,
look at Anambra,
for
how many? Out of about 2 million, about 400,000 voted. So what happened to the other ones who are frustrated? Among those ones who said they have learned a lesson, they didn't vote.
All right.
So if you don't vote, how do you change the system?
Let's move on now. We have anti-SARS campaign. We saw the hashtag #EndSARS. IGP orders immediate reorganization of SARS. North not afraid of restructuring. Tambuwal is saying that, but the issue of SARS has been on for
even when some of us who are very heavy on the social media, who have large followership. I didn't join them. The reason was that SARS, you can't, because SARS has its own gains. Just withdraw a policeman from Lagos Street for just 24 hours, see what will happen. So what I rather, that the hashtag should have been to what they have come to reorganize.
And fish out the bad eggs. Why can't you just end the system and you just end the system? So that was the quarrel I had.
If you see the psychology of social media, the point that it takes that kind of a very hard movement
to make it meaning.
Exactly.
Well, maybe that's why I got to the right here.
Exactly. So if you say reorganize SARS,
maybe 2 weeks. Maybe 2 weeks.
Exactly, maybe 2 weeks. So when you say end SARS,
and when you hear that the IGP has ordered immediate reorganization of SARS, who will be doing that job? Who is he ordering to? Okay.
But who's the same people who have said, because the police spokesman came out to say SARS don't know no wrong. So it's those people who are going to be charged responsible. So it's the same. You're handing the team over to them.
And videos went viral of what SARS did that even led to this in the first place.
Exactly.
Do you deny that?
Have you been to Panty before?
Certainly not.
Look, we don't have to say some of those things here. What did people go through?
This Mr. and Mrs., I'm not in the mood to read it out this morning. It's not for family. It's not for family.
It's not emo compliant.
It's not emo compliant.
All right, maybe we'll rest it.
But if you want to know what's there, you go and read it.
All right, thank you very much, Charles Ideho. We certainly will keep you for the next discussion.